welcome to our Swisslog Intralogistics Lounge. My name is Franziska Zimmermann, and today we're taking a closer look at next generation intralogistics software. And I'm very happy to be joined by our two experts. First, we have Daske. He has over 30 years of experience in design and logistic solutions. So, Jan, you lead the global software sales and go-to-market strategy as Senior Director Global Software Sales at Swisslog. Welcome, Jan. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And next to Jan is Dr. Christian Liedtke. He's mechanical engineer and currently serves as COO of KUKA Digital, as well as President and Chairman of the Board of the Open Industry 4.0 Alliance. So great to have you here as well, Christian.
Thank you.
Now, let's start with the bigger picture, I would say. What major industry trends are shaping the next wave of intralogistics automation? What would you say?
Well, actually, that's an easy question. I mean, we've seen in the last couple of years that machines are getting connected. They have interface to software systems and so on. And by this, we are gathering data. And data serves as the basis for AI application. And that's the first ask that the industry is bringing up. Yeah? We need to have AI. And if we have AI, that creates a different level of autonomy because it enables us to operate our processes in a different way, in an autonomous way. Yeah? And if we're doing this, that leads then to the third one. It's actually the entire automation is becoming easier because we get a lot of help from our systems, and that's what's making automation much easier. It's easier to program, it's easier to operate, it's easier in everyday use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when we take a look to the software side from that, then we have to say we have to probe up the monoliths. Yeah? Make it more flexible, make it more modular, bring in something what we are calling it's a workflow. Yeah. And that will be help to enable a necessary AI enablement when we're talking about the entire holistic processes which we want to serve. So we have to probe up our silo, and we have to talk about logistics enablement also in the area of the entire ecosystems which we are served to our customers. And therefore, AI is an enablement, and therefore is easy integration of automation, and that's reduce the risk and enter into easy access to enable automation for every purpose you want to search for.
Yeah. And building on that, what role does software innovation play within Swisslog and across the KUKA Group today?
Well, I would say it becomes the key denominator. I mean, whether we like it or not, machines are becoming more and more commodity. I mean, all the lines between the different vendors are blurring. Everybody is providing good equipment. Yeah. So software is really becoming the key differentiator between two vendors. By software, we define whether it's easy to actually commission a machine, to operate a machine, how we are going to change process and so on. And this is really one of the major tasks that we have nowadays to actually make our equipment easy to use.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And when we take that from the perspective, from the customer perspective, which kind of purpose we want to fulfill. So then you see, we are talking about enablement of logistics automation. We are talking of an enablement of production automation and how we can combine this to an entire seamless workflow. And that is the key what we have to serve in that area especially.
Okay. And we can't talk about next-gen intralogistics without talking about AI in detail. So what types of AI technologies are you embedding into your automation solutions?
Well, I would say always just good AI, but no, I mean, in reality, KUKA Group is following a new path. We are calling it intent-based AI, yeah? Intent-based robotics. We also call it automation 2.0 because it's the next level. And maybe I should explain what do we mean by intent, and I have a very simple example for that, and I'll make it a short one for you. Let's say you have a bakery, and you need some bread for your bakery. So you go to the apprentice and tell him, hey, I want you to make a bread. You have to take, I don't know, flour, water, eggs, salt, whatever. I'm not a baker, yeah? And then you have to tell him how to mix it, how to put it in the oven, what temperature does the oven need, how much time, and so on. You get the point. That's the traditional way of programming machines, whether it's a robot, whether it's an auto store from you or an AMR driving around. That's how we program them. We have to give them every detail on what to do. Now in the bakery you also have a seasoned baker, and if you tell him I need a bread, he might ask you when and what kind of bread. but all the rest, he knows how to do it. So that's where we want to go. We want to tell our machines the intent, like I need a bread. Now, what does the apprentice do? He does exactly the same like my 14-year-old daughter would do, ask ChatGPT. Yeah? How do I bake bread? And everything's in there. And maybe the first bread is not the perfect one, but the second or third are going to be quite as good as the one from the seasoned baker. And that's what we're doing with intent-based robotics. We're utilizing AI, large language models and so on, because there are so many code parts already out there that we don't need to tell an AMR, drive that path, turn right, drive that path. You will find it. You just need to tell your machinery, hey, I want you to go from there to there and pick up something or so. That's intent-based robotics. And we are integrating this actually in a totally new platform that's being rolled out in the next, let's say, couple of years among the entire KUKA Group. We call it AMP. That's the Automation Management Platform. It has been introduced just a week ago at the GTC by NVIDIA. So this is really hot stuff we are working on in Silicon Valley with a team, and this is going to be the future.
Yeah. So it's simple to say, bring it back to from the recipes of the bakery. Yeah. Bring it back to that. It's a good example. Yeah. And bring it that back to our robotics. What I really like is, as example, our item pick solution. Yeah. So item pick is a robot who is easily recognize what is in a box, grab it from there, and put it into another carton or another shipment box, whatever. And this item pick was developed together with NVIDIA chips exactly to recognize the item by self-learning processes. So you don't have to program every step. And the other way of AI, and that is intent-based AI especially, that is where you can work on to talk to your robot. Normally, you go to a robot, you give him exactly the sentence he needs to work out this sequence in that way. Now you can use native language, speak to a system, type it in like ChatGPT, and the robot recognizes this order and exactly execute that in the right way. And that is where AI enables robotics in the best way and reduce in commissioning processes, reduce the risk of using, and make it easy to integrate also in existing environments. That's for me a practical example where we collaborate together in such areas. And especially you have mentioned with NVIDIA.
Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. And next question is especially for you, Jan. What challenges in modern warehouses are you aiming to solve with next-gen intralogistics software? You told us a bit already, but maybe you can go more in detail.
Yeah, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's everything, it's about the workflow. Workflow is something where you have a seamless integration of that what you want to do in the warehouse, the intent, what it came in. And this workflow is nothing else as a material flow orchestration which you want to move forward. You need workflows to bring transparency in your processes. You need workflows to enable your automation seamlessly and easily into your environment. And that's the way where we have to challenge and to bring solutions when you're talking about that where you see it's actually in the movie. Every supply chain orchestration we manage in our systems, that is always embedded in an ecosystem. So in the entire ecosystem, we are a critical path of them. So we have to recognize what is the purpose of our customer, which we have to solve end to end, and where we can deliver impact to set not only to provide warehousing, to provide business processes and business advantages. And therefore, the workflow in next-gen softwares is a key element because that is understandable for an AI agent too. And that brings additional advantages to the business.
I understand. And how does next-generation intralogistics software enhance collaboration between people and automated systems?
Well, I mean, we have to face the truth. Automation is going to drive more and more people out of the production shop floors, out of the warehouses and so on, because we want to automate things. We want to make them easier, we want to make them safer and so on. It's not the nicest work environment. It's not like sitting here in a chair and talking about things. So that's going to happen. And how are we going to do it? Well, we have more and more tools that we can use, robots, machineries, AMRs. There are so many of them, and we have to give them some intelligence. So this is then again powered by AI, and Well, that's how the face is going to change, the face of such a warehouse. You will see less people, but more people who are actually in control, who guide those processes, who understand actually the entire workflow from the beginning till the end and guide the machinery to this. Of course, they're going to get some help by software systems who enables them to do that. Might be simulation, might be utilizing real-time data to control what is actually happening and so on. But this is going to be somehow the future that we're going to see in warehouses, or what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. That is the way when we're talking about that, and especially business enablement, we have mentioned many times. But when we came back to that, what we are seeing in that area is also, we call Excel as one of the biggest ERP of the world. Yeah. And Excel is always the answer when you are searching for data. We provide data. And when you go into a control tower, operation control tower for warehousing, you see people, they have always Excel tables and Excel prints and everything on the table where they are working on to deliver transparency. Now imagine you do that with an AI agent. Now imagine you do that just by asking him, support me, I need such type of information. So that is a change of the behavior. You're not talking about, I find a solution, you get a propose of this from your agent. And that is enablement, what we are seeing in that.
So you don't actually need the Excel anymore? Or they are just in the back and the AI agent is using
We want to delete Excel in that way, because Excel is always not a single point of truth. Excel is always a point of truth for the person who has it developed. But when you want it to transparency delivers AI and transparency delivers data provisioning. And that's what we are doing. We own the data. We have the data of the entire material flow organization. We know point to point. And that's what the data are who bring value to the customer. To get this into a different cosmos of the entire ecosystem, provide transparency and the possibility to integrate and to interact with AI on intent-based way or on other ways too.
And actually, that's a good point. I mean, why are people using Excel? Because it's so easy to use. Everybody can operate it. It's not like in SAP. I remember from my studies, where you had to have all those 4-digit codes you had to remember to access that. So no one could operate it. And Excel was always so easy to use, and it was easy to gather data, to put it in, to put some sense into it. And that's what we need to do. That's our task now, to make it easy to operate those kind of systems, to get the right information, and the AI is going to be the enabler for us. It's going to help us find the right things, arrange the right things.
Okay. So less Excel, more AI. So that's a clear message. And a last question: looking into the future, how do Swisslog and the KUKA Group see AI transforming warehouse operation in general in the next 3 to 5 years? One point you already said, the Excel, but maybe you have some more points to mention.
Well, generally speaking, I would say 3 to 5 years is quite a short period. We are almost there, but in terms of investment, that's still far away. So I don't expect to change the face of Earth totally in the next 5 years. But we're going to see like more and more software systems are coming into the warehouses. More and more are we going to utilize data in warehouses. I mean, you are fully automized and fully digitized anyways in the logistics field. It's not like in my field, the production, where you still need to connect machinery or so, but we're going to see this more and more, and this is step by step going to change. And don't forget one thing, it's a transformation process. It's a transformation process, and there are still people in there, and we will also have in 20 years still people running around, and we have to pick them up, we have to train them, we have to show them how to utilize those new technologies. This is going to be one of our major tasks.
As you mentioned in the beginning, hardware will become more and more commodity. So what we are seeing and what we are challenging in that area is we have to come more and more to step into the customer's view. So, and from this perspective, when you take this as a major task way, then we see a movement from to sell hardware to sell a solution. And from selling to a solution, we come to a master integration provider. That is a change what I see for Swisslog, especially in the next 3 up to 5 years. And that is what we have to serve to our customers.
Very exciting to see where this is heading. And thank you so much for your insights. Great
welcome.
to have you here in our Intralogistics Lounge.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much. And if you'd like to see how these ideas are already being applied, Swisslog Sync platform offers a practical view of how intelligent software is improving decision making and warehouse performance today. So feel free to visit swisslog.com/sync to learn more or book a demo. Thank you so much.